but he's got his mane cut. Apparently, he had some very slight skin complaint quite a long while ago. We all hope he runs well. Jack Hansen reckons he's the best horse he's ever had.
And they race away. The tactics early on will be interesting. Montresor run his best racer in front, is in front, but the pace isn't that strong, with Polar Run showing up second, Child of the Mist taking a keen hold third, Future Glory in behind it, and Frequent Flyer. Racing up on the outside is Stoneflake, El Hareb and Zalazzle, and Future Glory now in fact back to last, with Montresor leading. But the pace is a very steady one for Mark Birch, but a brave one out in front in this William Hill Futurity, going on from Polar Run next to the rails in second, Frequent Flyer is third, Stoneflake four, next to the rails is Child of the Mist, and they start the turn in. They've completed just over 3 furlongs, and it's Montresor leading, or at least sharing the lead with Polar Run. Greville Stark is going to make plenty of use of that horse, and wisely too. They come down towards the halfway stage. Frequent Flyer is tucked away third. Then behind these, Stoneflake four, Child of the Mist, El Hareb on the outside. Then Zalazzle, the one that's out of it, is Future Glory. They race down to the 3 furlong marker, and Montresor bravely in the lead. But it's Polar Run next to the rails. Frequent Flyer coming with a run. El Hareb travelling sweetly on the outside. In behind them, close up 5 is Stoneflake, and Montresor drops quickly away. And Polar Run takes up the initiative, but El Hareb is travelling strongly to share the lead. Frequent Flyer in between these. Zalazzle makes ground on the outside of the pack, and with just over 1.5 furlongs to go, Polar Run gives way, and it's El Hareb that storms for home. El Hareb by 1.5 lengths to Zalazzle. Polar Run back in third. Frequent Flyer in four, but El Hareb keeping up the gallop. Goes too clear as he races up towards the line. In the William Hill Futurity, it's El Hareb by 2 lengths to Zalazzle in second. They're well clear of Frequent Flyer, and at the line, El Hareb wins it. Zalazzle is second, Frequent Flyer third, Polar Run 4. Behind these, Child of the Mist, then came Stoneflake 5. A big gap to Future Glory, and trailing and tailed off was Montresor. And so the result of this William Hill Futurity, it's a win for number 1, El Hareb, at 130 in the colours of Hamdan Al Maktoum, trained at West Ilsley by Neil Graham and ridden by Willie Carson, who won the race last year on Empson. He supplemented it this year on El Hareb and made a double on Futurity Day here at Doncaster. Second is number 12, Zalazzle, ridden by Willie Ryan. Third is number 6, Frequent Flyer. What a game and consistent performer that one is, considering it only cost some 6,000 guineas. The 4th horse home was the disappointing favourite, Polar Run, and also very disappointing was a performance of Montresor.
Well, a fine performance by Al Hareb, who's clearly put his problems behind him, because following that disappointing run at Goodwood, he's come back to show himself a very, very good 2-year-old indeed. On the bridle virtually throughout the race, he comes to take up the running from Polar Run as they go into the closing stages. Frequent Flyer in between them, under the whip and staying on, but just at one pace. Zalazzle runs on gamely, but John, they're not going to get to Al Hareb, and Willie doesn't have to be too strong in the closing stages.
What a marvellous result this is for Neil Graham and for Major Dick Hearn, who I hope's watching on television, because it pays compliments to Prince of Dance, who's beaten the second very easily indeed, and Al Hareb proceeds to beat him decisively now. Willie never picks up his whip, I don't believe. He hasn't done yet anyway. Now he does just pick it up, but that's all. Just one wave is all Al Hareb needs, and he's absolutely clear superiority over Zalazzle, and a great deal more superiority over all the others.
Very much so. Just perhaps running a little lazily once in front. Willie shook the whip at him to make sure. Zalazzle